Winston Peters has poured cold water over the government's much-lauded plans to double the refugee quota to 1,500, which would be a remarkable backdown on a key policy. His announcement made in Nauru at the opening of the Pacific Islands Forum, PIF, seems to have taken the Prime Minister by surprise. Pacific leaders are flying in en masse for the 49th PIF, the elephant on the island likely to be Australia's policy of keeping refugees on Nauru. New Zealand has offered to take in 150 of them, and Australia's steadfastly declined. It's always been an awkward Trans-Tasman topic, and will continue to be tomorrow when Mr. Peters meets his freshly appointed counterpart. The refugee issue here is the refugee issue arranged between the Australians and Nauru. The current offer is part of New Zealand's total annual refugee quota, which until recently was stuck at 750 a year. National increased it slightly to 1,000 per year in response to the Syrian refugee crisis, and the government has promised to lift that to 1,500 a year, a doubling of the original quota. Though perhaps no one told Mr. Peters. "We never made a commitment to double the refugee quota," he said. That's not what the Immigration Minister Ian Lees-Galloway said in July. "It is still my intention to see an increase in the refugee quota to 1,500, he said at the time. He reiterated that just 2 weeks ago in a press release celebrating Christchurch reopening as a refugee resettlement centre. He said that would go some way to help us achieve lifting our refugee quota to 1,500 per year in this term of government, but Mr. Peters is now dampening down that claim. "We've agreed to take it to 1,000. But we've made no announcement to double it," he said. Mr. Peters continued by playing to his base.